Meditation is a space and the emotions comes and go. It's just like weather. So in that space, that you can feel sad, like raining or storm, like anger, but those going to pass. They're just like weather. My name is Grace. I'm a mental health therapist, practice in Washington, Seattle. My background, I was born and raised from Hong Kong and moved here to the state in 2001. So my parents my mom is from Indonesian. She's an Indonesian Chinese, and my father is from mainland China. So I'm an immigrant to here in the States, and now I'm a mental health therapist. And I was an actress doing theater work back when I was in Hong Kong, and then I became a massage therapist after I moved to the States. So body is a big thing for me. And then I also became the holistic coach, a spiritual director, now a mental health therapist, and I'm going to a PhD program in in-depth psychology in the coming September. I think because I practice in Bellevue, Washington here, so most of my client is actually in tech industry, Facebook, Google, Microsoft, Amazon. And so at first they come to see me for anxiety at work, or not having a good performance and stress, and also thinking about how to do the work-life balance. But later, after we go into more layers in the conversation, in fact, the anxiety on the surface is actually coming from a lot of their own development, their relationship with themselves. And so we were able to dive in after their presented problem. It's actually more to it. And because I myself as an immigrant, I can speak Cantonese, Mandarin, and okay English. So a lot of my client not only is tech background because of where my office located, I also see a lot of Asian American, interracial marriage, and also people who suffer in racial trauma, and a lot of BIPOC, people of color, my clients. And yes, so we work with a lot of in the racial trauma, multicultural background. I do work with a lot of oppressed, feeling of the oppressed, feeling of the not able to fit in, feeling about the different style in the culture. For example, in the state, I have a lot of like Asian American, particularly from mainland China. So as a Chinese, we don't want to, show off a lot of the time. We always feel like, oh, we do our hard work, then the coworker, the manager able to recognize it, then I will get promoted eventually. So they don't really speak up, or in the meeting, especially female in the tech industry, mostly is mostly is men. But as a Asian American or Asian person, a female body, if they want to speak up for themselves, if they have some idea, or if they have questions they don't understand, that is because of our cultural background. We always like not really voice up, or if we ask a question, we are afraid that people feel like we are dumb. Why don't you know this question? Why are you still asking this question? So it need to develop a lot for the client like that. We need to really develop a lot of self-confidence, self-compassion, and also not drill in their emotional mind, but more like able to step out. Or if they don't ask this question, if they don't say something, that's consequence maybe that they don't want to see. So how to be more like a rational mind, connecting with their emotions, knowing to, and also have accept. For example, I accept my English have accents. They also have to accept their accents in their English as an immigrant employee. And then sometimes maybe see the benefit of it. I see a lot of benefit with me. English is my second language, in fact. So we do a lot of self-compassion work, develop the confidence, and also find ways to cope with their anxiety, especially in the workplace. I believe self-healing, a key element in it is really time and curiosity, and be open-minded. Thinking about my own self-healing journey, I feel like it's really a journey of self-searching, and also asking myself, like, okay, what am I feeling here? Why I'm feeling this way? And then find ways to have conversation with myself, maybe through other people, through books, through lecture, through podcast, through YouTube, this kind of video, have the conversation. Okay, what can I learn through it? My example about self-healing, one of the aha moment is one time I went to a conference and people talk about their stories. And then all of a sudden, that's one word really catch me is self-identity. So I was born in an artist family, artist household. My father is a theater director and a playwright, and then my older sister is also work in theater. My middle sister is a pianist, so I'm the youngest one. I always feel like, okay, because of my family background, my identity, I'm an artist. But having this label onto myself, I am this, I am that, I am this, so that I have to act a certain way, in fact, it's really limit myself. And then I keep having a standard to compare myself with other things. Like, oh, I'm not good enough in acting. I should have do some picture like this. Like this is my drawing, by the way. So I feel like, oh, I didn't draw enough. I didn't compose enough of music. I should dance more. So I have a lot of should onto me because of how I label myself as I am an artist. I feel like I want to grow. I want to get outside of my box. I want to get outside of my label or the label or expectation family put it on me. That is a really drastic change and realization for me, and to find a freedom that I'm no longer this and that I put it on myself. There's no really such things as should. And I can always write a new chapter of my life, look inward of who am I and define who am I. But now, if I remove that label, then who am I? Then I start to go to people that I trust. And then through their impression of me, then I start to see myself. Oh, I'm someone that, okay, I can have deep talk. Oh, I'm someone that I can connect with people easily, or I'm someone that who is artistic, then I don't need to label myself as an artist, have to be, right? So I feel like it's a self-healing, it's really include a lot of the willingness of being curious about myself, and then the open mind, pay attention to the surrounding, and there's a lot of information that we can cooperate and use it for our own self-healing. I also practice the Zen meditation, which is allow myself to be. One of the YouTube video from a monk, I think he said something really aligned with my understanding of Zen meditation. And he said, well, Zen meditation is a space and the emotions comes and goes. It's just like weather. So in that space, that you can feel sad, like raining or storm, like anger, but those going to pass. They're just like weather. They just come this way and then go the other way. But the space to remain in the space not changing. So in my Zen meditation is try to connect with that space and allow all my emotion comes and goes. And also being with that space is just really calm down my nervous system, very practically, right? To calm down my nervous system. Although for me, it needs 10 minutes to catch up because like my body not knowing what is going on. My body still feel like we need to fight, we need to do something, and still feeling certain emotions. So my body going to catch up. Oh, we are safe. We can sit. We can do nothing. We can just rest. Usually for me, it takes 10 minutes. And then the next 10 minutes will be just really feeling so calm. So that's the nervous system in my Zen practice that I need to give it some time and not give up so quickly. So some people like in the DBT, one of the tools is called open hand, smiling face. Basically just open hand, smiling face, and with the body gesture to stimulate the idea of letting go. And also that really helped me for my self-healing because sometimes some of the thoughts, some of the needs, it's just really sticky in my mind that I just couldn't shake it off and I just ruminate, I spiral down. But to practice the Zen meditation or even the open palm, smiling face, it helped me to imagine what's letting go looks like, feel like. And then I can make more conscious choices accordingly. Instead of react, I can respond. So I think that's how Zen meditation helping me. As a mental health therapist right now, I found the freedom to really utilize a lot of different skills, different tools, and also who I am, and also my background, my style. Um, when I was a massage therapist, when people came for a massage, and my shoulder have pain or my knee have pain, if I just perform the Swedish massage from head to toes, have a sequence, they won't get satisfied. They want you to tackle their pain and stress first. So when I was doing the massage, performing the massage, if they said low back pain, okay, let's take care of the low back pain first. If they say, okay, we have headache here, I have headache here, okay, let's take care of your headache first. So immediately they feel like you are really paying attention to them. So and then we can start to work on, in fact, because of this muscle is pulling, that's why you feel pain here. It's like you as a massage therapist, you understand, okay, what's going on, the map of the body. And I think as a mental health therapist also, I work as a similar way. When the client come and have the presented issue, we'll dive into that presented issue first. Okay, like, I don't know why my boss gives me a bad review. That's really upset. He never mentioned anything, and then all of a sudden I'm underperforming. Something like this is like example. And then, okay, we talked about how you feel about that. What did he say that trigger you? And then we use some DBT tool, mindfulness tool, and or find ways to, with that particular session, say, okay, I'll give you some homework. Let's try this and that. So some CBT tool, for example, or some book or article. So they feel like they're being taken care of, or something is going on that is helping them first. And then later, maybe the either in the same session or in the next session, and then we start, okay, I feel like this is not only one question that you bring to the therapy session. If you don't mind, can we unfold a little bit more? Maybe some similar feelings that you had in the past, or why this is really upset you. And I also remind the client that, the aha moment not happened in the therapy session a lot of the time. It's happened outside of the therapy session. But we can try to kind of massage your body, your mind body, so that prepare you to have the capacity to taste the differences of life and find insight within yourself. And I really encourage the client to do a lot of self work and then bring it to our therapy session and talk more. I also use tapping in my therapy office with clients or online. So tapping, emotion freedom technique, basically is tapping. That's part one. Tapping, tap 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 tap. This point, and then the third eye, and then the temple, and then here underneath here, and then the nose, and then under this here, and then collarbone, rib cage, and the last point is here. That's it. That's the part one. And then the part two is to match with your language, also verbal, the verbal processing. So the part two will be just the sentence will be, even though I feel one negative emotions, and then I completely accept myself in the middle. And the last part will be a positive emotions. I choose to feel. So like, for example, even though I feel anxious, I completely accept myself and I choose to feel peace. And the next one, even though I feel anxious, I completely accept myself and breathe. I choose to feel peace. And then so you just go over all the points with the same sentence. You can actually switch the word, like I choose to feel joy, for example, if you are sad. So one negative emotions, and I completely accept myself, and then I choose to feel. I think with the tapping first, it's help the client to connect with their body, and then to calm down their nervous system, through breathing, through conscious, connection with the body and breath work. And then with the words, it's helped them to move their emotional mind, being overactive, to find the language to more like the left brain, and then verbally to express their emotions instead of just stuck in their emotion mind and then get overwhelmed. So tapping is a channel to help them to, to cope with their emotions and regulate their emotions with breath work, words, and tapping body. And in fact, in the Chinese acupressure point, this one is for calming. So I think the EFT is also related to the meridian system. I use Gottman for my couple counseling and also the emotional focus therapy. But when it comes down to couple counseling, I want to make sure that each person have a safe space to share, to talk. Sometimes I use role play also. For example, I have a wife here sitting here, and then me act as the husband or the partner. And then we start to have dialogue, and then to help the partner who's sitting in the sofa on that side to reimagine how to talk differently. And then also ask the partner who's sitting across from me, how's your feelings? Do you feel like you're being heard here if you communicate this way? And then we switch. So using some acting to help them to reimagine a different pattern, communication patterns. And I also have 3 essential things that is kind of like the teamwork to connect with all the tools that I use in the therapy, and also to help the couple to utilize these 3 major concept. And in fact, this major concept, these 3, not only used in couple therapy, it can use in parenting. This can use for talking with your friend. Okay, these 3 major idea. One is being seen and being heard. So when we talk, communicate with the other person, we want to make sure the other person feel like they're being seen, they're being heard. So sometimes by repeating what you heard, or find clarity in their conversation, or showing the curiosity, that is already a gift for the other person. So the first thing is being heard and being seen, right? And the second thing is feeling safe and protected. That means when the other person communicate with you, they feel safe to be who they are, and you won't, react so quickly, or you won't collapse, so that they feel like, oh, I better don't say anything because like she get upset so quickly. So you want to make them feel like they feel safe and being protected, and you are trustworthy. So being heard, being seen, feeling safe and protected, and then the last thing is personal power. So you want to have them feel like they do have personal power, so they don't have to react so quickly or according to your need. They have full power. If they want to stop, they can stop. They can pause, and if they want to set boundaries, they can set boundaries. And also, it's okay to negotiate, right? For example, so for a couple, right? One partner say, okay, I want you to do this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So for personal power, how this can get executed, maybe the partner say, you know what, I hear what you said, you want this 1 to 10 here. I thank you for telling me this, but I feel like I can only offer maybe 3 out of this 10. Is it okay that we negotiate, right? So yeah, okay, then can you just give me 3, 8, and 9, right? So and then say, okay, I can do that. So both of them can feel like they being heard, being seen, safe to talk, and then also the exercise the personal power. For me, the first thing is really curiosity, being curious of yourself, other people, see things not just the surface, but the willingness to kind of like to search a little bit deeper desire behind the action. So that's one, being curious. And I think secondly, yes, the open mind. Sometimes, yes, we do want to connect with ourselves, yet at the same time, sometimes we can only just look at ourselves like this in the tunnel view. So be open mind, asking other people how they see you, how they think, and yeah, and I think that is connect with the curiosity, right? Try to allow yourself to gather information that outside of your own view. And then the last thing is choosing loving yourself. So some people, they have a very good capability in the workplace, but doesn't mean they are someone who have confidence within themselves. Some people very self-conscious, keep thinking about or how other people think about them, or they have to prove themselves a lot. But I think at the end of the day, we do need to love ourselves, respect ourselves, also choosing the things that really nourish ourselves, take care of ourselves, including our body. Like get up in the morning, ask yourself, okay, what do I need today? What do I want to do today? So find ways to connect everything back to how you're feeling, try to build that relationship with yourself. So I think that process of building connection with ourselves is a self-love. And it's just so wonderful if you can find someone that you can trust and you can share very openly. Yeah, and sometimes it can be it's a therapist, but also you don't have to limit yourself, only go to therapy to receive that kind of connection with another human being. It can be a spiritual director. Just need to seek, to ask. For example, don't be afraid to ask, like, you know what, I feel like I can learn something from you. Is it okay that I can maybe have an interview with you, for example, or is it okay that I can ask you some questions? Just don't be afraid to learn from the people who, not only with the age, to define, is this person able to teach you or something. In Chinese, I think there's a sentence called 三人同行必有一事. It means like when three people walk together, one of them got to have something to teach you. You will have something to learn from that person. So have the freedom to seek help. Just allow yourself to let other people to see you, to hear you, or let yourself to being seen, being heard by the world, by other people. If times can go back, I know that sounds very silly, but I would tell my younger self, like, Grace, don't be afraid to reach out. You suffer right now. You have everything inside your head, and you keep processing everything within your own view. It's not help. So Grace, just go reach out to other people. Of course, find someone that you can trust carefully. If you want to pay. If that person don't take your money, that's good. But just don't keep yourself in the box. Go reach out, find other people to talk.